Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Nothing in Common podcast with me, Lane.
And me, Bella.
And today we're prepared.
We have so much stuff to talk about today. But
even though we didn't have a week off, but it feels like we did.
It feels like we did.
Wait, did we?
No, well, we had the week off before. Actually, we haven't had our talk in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I want to start off this episode by saying I was listening to our last episode. I did not drop out of college. I made it sound
I don't know what that is.
I made it sound like I completely dropped out of college and I gave up on life. I did not do that.
Dropout reference.
Oh, I just had to take a break because college is really expensive. So I didn't drop out of college.
Which is not the same.
So I had to let you know because in the last episode it was me and Gabby and she was like, I'm going to college, and I was like, oh, imagine going to college. I caught making it sound like I literally am doing nothing with my life and I have no goals. I have goals.
Yeah. I made it sound like that I didn't believe you and it was condescending. That is exactly what you're doing, is taking a break. Because college is expensive.
Yes, exactly. So, I wanted to start this episode by saying that. Thank you.
How many episodes do we have left? This is scary and sad.
This kind of leads to something actually on my notes.
Okay, well, we could do Zoom episodes, but I feel like that would be awful. Except for that's what Emergency Intercom is doing right now because they don't have the studio anymore because the obvious reasons they left, but now they're still on Zoom.
Would you guys even want that?
Yeah.
We could do
one a
month.
Yeah, we could do a once a month Zoom. I would be fine with that. And then by then I come back, Swarthmore has breaks so often that I would be back once every 2 or 3 episodes.
That'd be so fun.
To do
I'll make
an
sure
in-person
I come back.
one. And we could do a couple in-person. We could stockpile a couple in-person ones and then still release them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking about that,
I think we
actually.
keep doing it. I think it's fun.
Hopefully you guys will actually start to listen more regularly.
We literally fell off so bad. I was looking at our statistics from the week that we missed an episode, and it just goes straight down in flat lines. But then as soon as we got Gabby back on, it spiked back up.
Good.
Our I will say our YouTube episode with Gabby is terrible because of it took a full day and a half to upload, and it was at 98% uploaded when I came back. At midnight. Mm-hmm. So the video technically posted at 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
So nobody watched it, but
one thing that I learned when I was really young, and I don't know the exact way that it works, but since we live in Montana with a lower population, it's a lot harder to upload YouTube videos in our
you have to not upload YouTube videos in your times. You have to make sure that you're uploading them for except for you can kind of upload them for LA time.
LA.
You either have to try and hit the East Coast or the West Coast.
Carter had a TikTok of me go viral, so now I just need to move to LA.
What do you mean? Which TikTok?
So I'm not gonna expose him.
Our one TikTok kind of popped off though, from the Gabby, the 5 husband bland one.
I'm not gonna expose him too much, but he has this secret account that he gets a bunch of stuff sent to him for his truck and stuff. But he made this TikTok because So he had to get these professional pictures taken of this thing that he got on his truck that was sent to him. It's an $800 part. So they were just send us good pics. So
literally, what is she talking about?
I took good pics of the truck, and he made a TikTok of when your girlfriend wants to take pictures of her truck, and it's really cringy, but it blew up and it went really viral. And so now I just need to move to LA as a photographer.
Yeah, you need to move to LA and then be I'm the girl who took pictures of my boyfriend's truck, but I don't want to be known for that.
But I want to be known for me because I have so many other things to be known for. I'm hot. I'm brilliant.
Keep thinking that.
Your dad is...
Let's look at your shirt right now because it's kind of crazy and it doesn't look horrendous.
Cute.
It's kind of cute. I don't know about these.
I don't know about these either.
This is when I have the sweater that had the whale tail and you were
oh. I was Lane, this sweater's so cute, and then he turned around and there's a whale tail on the end, and I was
it's really cute.
Well, okay, let me...
But the fabric, I don't know if you can see on camera, looks so uncomfortable.
It's actually not that bad. Yeah.
It doesn't... I wouldn't to wear that fabric.
Okay, okay. Well, let me tell you, I'm living at Lane's house. I'm living at Lane's house, and I am running out of clothes right now. Like, I'm literally hitting my wit's end of clothes, and it's
Your
hard.
wit's end of clothes?
Yeah. And I'm trying to, like, wear pink every episode. I don't know if anybody's noticed. This is pink.
I don't think they can see that. Oh, a little bit.
I tried.
We always have to minimize our little camera where we can see ourselves on my laptop because we're narcissists and we'll just make eye contact with that instead of the camera.
I was gonna say, this is today Laurel texted me and she was watching episode 3, and I love when people just randomly will text me and be like, oh, I heard my name drop, because Honor did the same thing. And
I name drop people all the time without telling them that I've name dropped them until I do, and they're like, oh.
That's what Laurel did today. She was like,
That's
I was
so
just
funny.
cleaning, and then you all of a sudden talked about me, and I was like, oh, I'll talk about Laurel any day
That's
of the
so
year.
interesting because everybody else that can listen to this gets like the outside perspective of like when you're always like, I want to know if this person thinks about me or like if they ever talk.
There's
like,
a bug.
Yeah, there is a fly and it's freaking me out. How did it get in here?
I don't know.
When you're just like, everybody wants to know if
Like,
what other people think about them or like what they're talking about them about. And now you get to know.
And you get to know, but then the people that could know don't even listen.
Yeah.
Carter's always like, what'd you guys talk about on your podcast? I'm like, listen. Just listen to the freaking podcast.
You can listen to it in 2 times speed. I listen to it in 2 times speed when I listen to it back to make sure that I know we didn't, like, get canceled.
I am so narcissistic. I literally will listen to the podcast version and then I will watch the YouTube video. So I will watch it twice in full.
I listen to the podcast back because like, I do like to listen to what you're saying, but I listen to you so much less when we're on the podcast.
That's good.
But the convenient thing about that is I can just listen to it back.
It's a good way to have
We're
conversation.
getting off topic, though, and we do
really
have
are.
things in our notes. Do you want to go first?
Well,
Some of mine are a little outdated because some of my notes are from the episode before
mine kind of is
did the one with
too.
Gabby.
Well, I mentioned photography. That has been something that I have
Bella's
been getting
a photographer
into.
now. She literally came up to me and was like, "Hey, I have this camera. Like, you think should I start like doing photography or like would it be?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah."
She's just like every other bitch.
Literally every single person ever is like, "Oh, I'm gonna start doing photography. Like, I'm gonna take pictures." But you're like really good at it.
Stop. I mean,
They look really good.
I'm definitely like getting better because sometimes I like will edit a picture and then I'll be like, ooh, and then I'll completely restart it. And I have like posted a couple of those pictures where I'm like,
editing pictures is also something where it's so easy to be.
yeah, this bug. Oh, it's right here. It's right. Oh.
End it. Kill it.
I don't know where it went.
This is like the fly that landed on Mike Pence.
That's so funny. Sorry. Anyways, so yeah, I've been into photography, and then I did a I did a photo shoot with Lane's brother Noah and his girlfriend Cassidy, and then after I did that, like a bunch of people have been reaching out to me and being like, how much do you charge? And like blah blah blah.
10
So now
billion.
I've been charging for photo shoots, and I have some scheduled for this week.
Ooh,
I know,
how
so
much do you charge?
Well, I decided because when I took my senior photos, I love the person who took my photos to death. However, I was one of her like senior representatives, so I got like a discount, but she charged like $600 for a photo shoot. $600.
Wow.
I got mine for $300. Oh my god, I almost just splashed my titty.
Oh, I'm gonna have to censor that.
I got mine for $300, and then I was thinking about that, and then I was like, no. So I'm doing a half an hour photo shoot for $50, and then an hour for $85.
Yeah, I think that's a really good
start.
Like a rate for. And
it takes me like
especially
because
because a lot of the
edit.
cost is your equipment, which and editing time.
Most of the cost.
Are you paying for Lightroom?
Yeah, it's like $10 a month. It's not that
Lightroom Adobe products will be like, let's bundle 10,000 billion products and charge you like $100 a month, and it's like
I just did Lightroom.
You don't get them for, I guess you could. Does Adobe not do? I guess I get it for free
through your school.
And I've gotten some other stuff for free. Like even in high school, there's so many things that you can just put in your student ID information and they'll just be like, yeah, for free.
I'll still try. I'll see if
you could see. There's probably a discount.
I still have an ID. But anyways, I've been getting into photography, and that's been taking up some of my time.
Photography.
And I love it. So if you're local and want to do a photo shoot,
We should
go
do a
DM me.
collab, and I can bring my drone and take
That
pictures
would be
too, because
so
I have not been
cute.
flying. I got a new battery for it that lasts a lot longer, and I haven't been able to fly it because the weather has been so. It's either been so smoky that there's nothing to take a picture of, or it's been so rainy that like you can't fly a drone.
I don't even care that it's rainy. I can breathe. That's
Yeah.
like literally Carter was complaining yesterday about all the rain, and I was like, shut up.
Well,
Until you have asthma and you can't even go outside in the
Mm-hmm.
winter, don't winter?
I love getting a headache from like I love waking up in the morning with a headache because of the smoke that is like seeping into the room from the outdoors.
I just sound like I have tuberculosis. Like I'm about to croak. Anyways, let's do a collab. Go
Yeah.
follow me, isabella.eclair.photos. I need a new title because that's getting excessive.
Yeah, that is long. Mm-hmm. You could just do Eau Claire photos,
We'll see.
but
We'll see.
Isabella. No.
Who named me so long? Mom, I know you're watching. Please shorten my
Okay,
name.
we need to talk about the women that are in the sea. We need to talk about the women, the business women, the women in the full suits, in the like pencil skirts with the blazers, and their old MacBooks and their like square glasses and the bobs that are getting in the ocean and rolling around. Have you seen this
I have
epidemic?
zero idea what
Okay.
you're even talking about right now.
This is one of my things that is like old. This fucking fly is still here.
It's still, I don't know where it went. It's not even a fly, it's a little gnat.
It's a little.
Oh, it's on your leg, oh, it
No,
left.
it's not. Okay.
Okay.
The people who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about.
The women in the sea?
The women, the business women in the sea.
Can I look it up?
I could look at.
I
Let
want,
me see if I find a video. I'll have to insert it. But like this is the best, and there's a specific.
I like, sometimes, like he talked about it as if everybody in the room was going to know exactly what he was saying.
They better know.
Because I have
This
zero
is old.
idea.
This is like this is not what I'm looking for. Oh, I need to look up business women.
Business, women in the, did you just look up mermaids?
No, I looked up women in the sea and it gave me where is they? Where are they?
He's making it up.
I keep talking about something. I'll find these.
Well, I don't know what else to talk about. That's
It's almost like you have a whole.
Well, but
note.
like I can't just fit something in.
Well, I'm gonna interrupt you.
Speaking of the sea, one time.
I hate the sea.
No, let me actually tell you this crazy story. Okay, you're not gonna believe me. So,
I don't.
when I was really little, I was like, I thought about this the other day. My cousin and I were talking about the fact that this literally happened to us. And I like, it was in the iCloud of my brain and I like literally forgot about it. So when I was like little, like maybe like 6 or 7, we were camping at this lake called Hungry Horse Reservoir. Actually, I know what brought it up. A woman
Reservoir.
a woman had just gone missing there, and I think she's still missing. So that's kind of sad. But
Going missing is like, it's kind of scarier when people go missing than when they die. Because it's like,
you're telling me.
yeah. Well, you literally know.
Rest in peace,
you
Dad.
literally know. But like, isn't it like...
It's really terrifying because it's like
you have no
when my
idea.
dad
You
first
have
went
no
missing.
idea.
When my dad first went missing, we were like, well, maybe he just like took a trip to Mexico and like didn't want anybody to find him and just needed a break from reality. But no, he was actually dead in a mountain. So
I found her. Keep going. We can come back. We can come back to me. Let's see if I can find a collection.
Well, okay,
there's so many
so
of these.
when we were like really little, we were camping at the reservoir one time,
save
and
them
it was
to a
like
folder.
it was like my whole family, and me and my cousin Alyssa and my little cousin Brayden. We had like stumbled upon these little children. Like they were like the same age as us. They were super cute. The things that we remember about them, they were only allowed to have sugar and candy on Saturdays. They like couldn't have it any other day of the week. And they were just like, it was a very weird family. Okay, like crazy. And we had like literally as like little children left our entire family to go hang out with these kids and nobody knew where we were. We didn't have phones. We were like 6. And we spent like 5 hours with this family. And we were like picking raspberries and we ate lunch with them and like literally just said goodbye to our family. Like we left our family and we are with this new family that just took us in.
Suspicious.
Okay, literally, I'm not even lying. Okay,
Suspicious.
so we spent like, the 5 hours with them. We made it back to camp and our family was like, why would you do that? Like you guys can't just take off and leave without telling anybody where you're going. I cannot make this up. The next week on the news, the mom had been killed by the father.
You told me this story.
The father literally drowned the mother. She was like Swedish and she was like this adorable little woman. And like looking at it now, like she was very timid and like whatever. The dad drowned her. And we had literally just spent the whole day like with this family after running away from our family. And I think about that a lot because I was this close to death. Like so.
You're this close to death really
all the
often.
time, but that's a moment in my brain that I think about a lot. But that was the water, so now tell me about the business women in the ocean.
Okay. I'm gonna screen record so I don't have to. Let's see. Okay.
Anyways, that was kind of a funny
Okay, this
turn
is
of
it.
stories.
Look.
I'm sorry, why?
Look. She has work to do.
That's not even plugged in.
Look. She's busy. She's busy. Like this is where the email finds me.
I literally have no. Oh.
There's so many of these. I don't know how. Look.
I literally
She's
have never
rejecting
seen
capitalism.
this.
She's working from home.
TVPG. Oh.
This is me. This is how I feel.
Me editing pictures. Why is this
Look.
happening?
This aesthetic. This is how I feel. Look.
Guys, I literally have never seen this in my life.
How have you not? Look.
Look.
She's a businesswoman.
Okay.
Some of you don't get it.
No, I get it,
That
but
is like
I
so
never
2
have
weeks
seen
ago,
that.
but checking off women in the sea.
Checking off. Women in the sea, husbands murdering their wives. What's next?
Do you have something? Because I have more.
I have more too, but
Okay.
you
If
go.
we're talking about stuff that was well, actually, no, this wasn't last week. This is like something that was that has been a thing forever and was a thing like a year ago for a while and then just recently came back like a week or two ago. But the stories of like, it's like always like an AI narrating voice, and it's a guy being like, this man found a deer who was trapped inside of mud, and then he rescued the deer, and then it came back to his house later with all of its family to thank him. Those, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but that didn't
Those, like,
come back
animal
just
stories?
a week ago. Those have been on my For You page since like January.
Well, it's been in and out and on and off forever.
I watch those every day.
Those are not real, and I'm tired
they
of
don't.
pretending that they are, and so many people think that they're real, but what they're doing, you listen to me, they are editing videos together of a bunch of different deer. It's not the same deer. It's not the same deer. Deer don't do that. If you rescue a deer from mud, it's gonna run the way and probably die, because that's what deer do, is run into things.
That'll make me cry.
And it's not real, guys. Stop believing it. I just did that. I crushed the tiki.
Do you get the videos that are like, oh no, like my entire For You page, it's like 3 normal videos, one of these, 3 normal videos, and I get judged for it a lot, but I don't even care. It's like Reddit stories with like the Minecraft
Reddit
jumpers.
Stories are
They're usually
they're
fake,
good.
but they're so entertaining.
the Minecraft parkour is what really does it for me, but it'll break my immersion so quickly if they're doing the parkour in creative mode and fail it and just fly back up.
Oh.
Because I'm like, what is your deal?
Like, I love the ones that are like, my husband's family shamed me for my job because they thought I couldn't afford anything.
I feel like I keep seeing duplicates of them.
So
and that's
then I
what's
went
bothering me.
and bought my mother-in-law's dream house. And it's like my favorite stories in the world.
They're good.
Or have you ever seen like the fake text messages and they're like, Rizap, help, what do I say? No,
I don't know what
don't
that
get
is.
it. If you guys know, it's like, it'll be like the most outlandish text
Do you
things,
know-
and it's
do you
like,
know-
it's like men trying to like savor their marriages and then being like, Rizap, help me, what do I say? And then they'll be like, you're the only thing I want on
so
my
chronically
table tonight. What? Okay. Yeah, but so are
We.
you.
I said we.
Oh, I thought you said me.
Do you get the things that are like, it's like the Roblox, like it's like 4 little Roblox characters that are like different characters, and it's like a roleplay story.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what's your word that you can't say? I can't say mommy.
I feel like I've sent you some
And
of
then
those.
it's those for the first like minute and a half, and then it turns into like an edit of a character.
Yeah, I see it for like Taylor Swift
kill
a
me.
lot.
But the thing that bothers me about them sometimes is when I'm not in the mood to watch your little Roblox roleplay story and I scroll past and then realize later that it was an edit, it's like I'm missing out on your edit because you wanted to put a minute and a half long intro to the edit.
But like one thing about Lane and I is that we love a currency edit. Like we love to watch those edits of like Taylor Swift ass or like
Edits are so like what
characters
is
like
TikTok
Meredith
still
Grey?
getting banned? What happened to that? Are
Oh.
they doing that?
I forgot. Don't care. I love TikTok.
I don't give a fuck if it gets banned in Montana because that's probably good for me because then if it's not banned in Pennsylvania, actually maybe it should be the other way around so I actually can focus on school. I feel like I watch TikTok less in the summer because I need something that is like long form since I'm gonna be that I can listen to, which is not TikTok.
My screen time average has actually only been
Your
like
screen time?
I meant to say screen, but I thought you were gonna just
cream
roll
time?
past it. My screen time average has been like 3 hours lately.
Mine hasn't.
And
But
been
it's
making me
because
really
I listen
happy.
to something in the background of every single thing I do to avoid the chance of forming a thought.
That's okay. Even if it is.
What's your name?
Screen time.
Where? Oh, there it is. I don't even have it
You don't even
turned
have it set
on.
up. Mine sends me the thing
That's
every
honestly
Sunday.
probably for the best.
Yeah, we don't need to look at
Fake
that.
animal
no.
stories on TikTok.
I'm just thinking
what's
about,
one of your things?
I'm thinking about how much we've already talked about this episode and we're only at 21 minutes.
Yeah, I thought we would. I was worried we were gonna like talk over, but we're not.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, you talked about okay.
Oh, I need to add to my note to add the Women in the Sea screen
So
recording.
since our last podcast, Biden dropped out of the election.
Oh, I have that in my notes.
And Kamala Harris has been endorsed. I don't think she's been officially selected as the candidate.
She's gonna be.
Well, obviously she's gonna be. It reminds me, I forgot about this when my
Coconut.
when Kamala first won by
Your auntie Kamala?
Well, no, it like connects. I promise. When Kamala
Bella revealing that Kamala Harris is her aunt.
Well, when Kamala Harris first won vice president, my aunt then informed us that she literally has worked with Kamala Harris in AOC because she's an attorney in California.
That's
My
crazy.
Aunt Pam literally knows Kamala by Kamala, not Miss
Kamala by
Harris.
Kamala.
And then literally she has worked with AOC. Like literally my
That's
Aunt
crazy.
Pam in California, Queen, I love her to death. I see her like once every 4 years, has literally worked with Auntie Kamala. And I'm gonna call her up and say, "Hey Aunt Pam."
You can't call her Auntie Kamala. This
I'm gonna
is illegal.
say, "Hey Aunt Pam, will you send me Auntie Kamala's phone number? I need to ask her for a favor."
No. I have in the group chat that me and Mint and Luna have, Kamala Harris has been in that group chat with us. Not like I've been invited to the group chat for like months and months now.
Really?
Because I invited her like for some reason like 6 months ago and she didn't accept it. So Kamala Harris, if you're listening to this, please
Or
accept
the
it.
little twink that's running Kamala HQ. Get in her account and
Who
accept
is?
it.
I'm sick of these posers pretending
I'm
to be
not
Kamala.
sick of it. I love
No, I'm sick of the people who are like, oh, like who will I be to who will Group be tonight? And it's
yeah.
like Kamala Harris HQ and then their real account. And
I
I'm like,
love that.
one of you, you're all lying and one of you isn't, and I'm not gonna waste my time figuring out who it is.
I love that our generation is, and it's kind of funny because this is kind of the field that I
Coconut.
want to start stepping into, but it's kind of funny that
Coconut.
like every single brand and like company is being ran by some like little girl or like a little twink. Like every single
There's only two
big-
types of social media managers, and it's little girl and little twink.
That's literally it. Bella or Zach, choose your character. Just kidding. Zach could never run anything like that.
I can't wait to like be. Oh, I need to probably switch where I'm registered to vote as well.
Ooh,
I can't wait to be tweaking about who's gonna win the election again.
You live in a blue state.
No, I don't. Pennsylvania is kind of like a battleground state, I think.
Oh.
Which is why I do not need to register here.
Yeah. Because it don't matter.
But then I'm like, I can't vote for like local. I don't even know what the local election scene looks like in Montana, but it's usually like fuckface freaks.
You don't know the elections?
The local election scene, like I
Oh,
don't
like
know
our
what.
Kalispell mayor?
Yeah. Well, no, like
I don't
yeah.
know either.
Because that's what I literally stayed registered as a voter in Montana because I wanted to be able to vote on that levy that was gonna happen, and then I couldn't get the mail-in ballot in time, so I was like,
So
"What is
annoying.
the point?"
They make voting like way too hard sometimes.
Yeah, well, for
I
a
voted
reason.
for the mayor of Missoula. I can't
Congratulations.
remember her name.
Wow, you're not politically active and you're not a real.
She's
Why
like
is your microphone blinking?
she's like Facebook friends with my mom.
Does it do that normally?
I don't remember. That's why I'm stressed a little
Well,
bit.
it looks fine.
Wait, mayor of just mayor
Mayor.
of Miss Hula. Her name
Project Coconut is in effect.
Andrea Davis.
Andrea.
Yeah, that's how you say it. Andrea.
Oh, Andrea
She's a
Davis.
queen. Oh my gosh, Project Coconut. I don't know. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care why. But if you don't find some sort of serotonin in watching Kamala edits,
It gives me a little bit of hope, which makes me scared.
oh,
Because when it was gonna just be Joe, I was just like, at least I was resigned to the fact that we were doomed. But now,
it's like
now
we're either
that there's a
doomed
little
or there's
hope, it's like, oh.
oh,
And even then, it's like kind of annoying because the hope is like, any president of the United States is still gonna be like a major
inherently
war
bad
criminal.
person.
But like we could have a woman, and she's like Kamala Harris is a little bit more. She's a little bit more progressive than she was like as the VP
Yeah,
for Joe.
I agree.
Because
And
Joe is
especially
like the
recently.
biggest moderate in the on the face of the earth.
It's just funny because he's like not even. That's something that always has confused me because he's not even like that like crazy extreme left, and like
He's so
conservatives
centrist.
are
He's like
so they
he
hate him
would be
so much.
he would be the equivalent of a conservative in like most other modern democratic countries because he
Yeah.
is so centrist.
But it's like why did like conservatives just hate him because he has a D next to his
I
name?
do also think it's funny. What?
Because he has a D next to his
Oh,
name. Democrat.
it took me a second.
Because he has a D.
I also think it's so funny that because conservatives make their whole personality not liking Democrats and what they do rather than like having their own issues that they care about that are real. Like none of it. We're getting controversial.
We are. I don't
But
care.
Now so many people have FJB or fuck Joe Biden stickers everywhere, and it's like great. Like you made your whole personality hating this one candidate that guess what? Most leftists hate too, and now he's not running. What are you gonna do with your fuck Joe Biden stickers? Like this is your whole personality, and now
The stickers that are
what
like
if you have left?
they're like Joe and the hoe gotta go.
Yeah, well now it's just gonna be the hoe gotta go.
Crazy. The hoe's gotta go.
The hoe, and I wonder who she's gonna pick as our VP.
Hopefully Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro. That would be good. That would
kinda love
cancel
him.
out. Actually, I don't even think conservatives like Ben Shapiro. Some conservatives don't even like Ben Shapiro that much because they just like he's annoying.
I saw a
And
video.
even conservatives know when someone's annoying.
I saw videos the other day that I literally hit not interested in so fast because one thing about me is that I am liberal, but I still will call out fake news from both sides. Try it sometime.
It's actually pisses me. It pisses me off more when there's. Have you seen the picture of? It pisses me off more when there is like Democrats post stuff that is so clearly fake because I'm like you're stupid. But have you seen the picture that's like you all say that Trump isn't supported by black women, and then it's a picture of him with next to like 3 black women that look exactly the same, and if you look even a little bit closer, Trump's like nasty grimy yellow hair turns into like a luscious silk press in the back because it's an AI picture.
And they're like, he looks. Yeah.
It was like you could not find
seen that.
a picture with Trump standing next to more than like 2 black women, so you had to AI generate it.
But I was gonna say I saw this video that was like, I just don't understand like why there's so much debate. Like, obviously Kamala's gonna pick AOC as her running mate. And I was
No,
like,
she's
you
not.
guys are the most like just use your brain, use your head, and realize that she couldn't even be the vice president. Right?
Is the
'Cause it's
age
same. I think
limit
it's
the same for
I
VP?
think it's the same.
And she's
Wait,
like 34.
maybe I'm talking the wrong thing.
Honestly, I kind of think maybe she should not even bother running.
Ever.
No, AOC.
Oh, I was like-
no, like she shouldn't bother running as soon as she is eligible to run by age because I feel like even then, like, we're not gonna go from an 80-year-old president
To
a 30-year-old.
minimum, yeah. But speaking of black women and Donald Trump, have you been watching any of the Olympics?
Yes, because my best friend Simone Biles, who, if you guys don't know this, have I said this on the podcast?
Yeah, you said
before?
it last
I literally,
episode.
yeah. My best friend Simone Biles is doing great, except for the bar was rigged. The bar was tricked. It was a plot. It was a plot to get the U.S. Olympics team to not win that event, and they cheated.
They cheated on her. But have you seen like her?
Actually, I really do think like that was suspicious.
I saw that too.
Like the 3 people that fell during that routine on the bar all fell in the exact same spot.
Yeah. So obviously
And it's
something's wrong
either
with the
like,
equipment.
oh, of course they all fall in that same spot because that's where they would be doing the landing for that same trick. But I feel like there's something suspicious going on, and it's mainly that I don't trust Paris to be running the Olympics. They're making the people swim in the Seine, and they're like vomiting blood. They're dying.
Literally the levels of E. coli the day after the mayor went swimming in it.
Yeah, you are crazy.
Have you seen like the Simone drama? Not even drama, just her pettiness.
She needs to get rid of her husband because that man thinks he is the greatest thing ever invented. And again, nobody knows your name, sir. Mr. Simone Biles, nobody knows your name. And Mr. Simone Biles, if you're listening, we don't know your name.
Mr. Simone Biles, if you're listening, please put on some shoes. We saw that video of you wearing toe socks, and I was very uncomfortable. I don't know if you saw that video.
What is this? I sort of know what you're talking about, but not really.
I actually have 2. The first thing is that Simone posted this thing on X.
Ew.
Which I hate. Ew.
We could also talk about Cybertrucks.
She posted this thing that literally is her holding her 2 gold medals, and it says, "I love my black job."
What?
Oh my gosh, really?
I love my
black job, because Trump was just calling like black jobs and just had like that whole rally where he talked about like black jobs and like whatever. And I just thought that was funny because Simone posted, "I love my black job" with her 2 gold medals.
It's like not even like calling it a job for Simone is crazy because it's not even like a job. It's like I feel like you wouldn't call being the best person to ever do something ever a job. Like calling it a job feels like a step down.
It's true. But then did you see her other like little thing? So there's this girl named Michaela Skinner who was like...
That's a crazy last name.
That is her... Yeah, Skinner.
You had to double check.
I had to double check. She was like an... I don't know the exact, so don't quote me on it, but she was like an alternate or something this year. I think she's like competed nationally
We're just going to keep talking about the Olympics the whole time because I have a bunch of stuff to talk about now.
Okay. She was like an alternate or something, but she like got on an interview and she was so petty that she did not make like the Fantastic Five or whatever they called themselves this year. And she was like, I don't even want to be a part of it because they're lazy, like they lack work ethic, like they're so whatever, blah 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 blah. And she like made it her whole personality to just say that the girls that are competing for our gymnastics this year are like terrible, horrible, bad.
I think I know what this means now.
And so then when Simone and the girls won gold at the Olympics, she posted on her Instagram with the caption. The video
of them right after like winning,
planning their TikToks.
Like, we're gonna is so crazy. It's
so real though.
And so you coded.
I know.
After speech and debate.
But she posted after she won, "Lack of talent, lazy Olympic champions."
Okay, I was confused because I was seeing that without the context of the other girl, and I was like, "Wow, Simone, that's really mean." Like
why would you say that?
Why would you say that? That's crazy, Simone. My best friend Simone.
And then Michaela blocked her, and it's like, how are you gonna block Simone Biles, Olympic champion?
That's crazy.
4'8" mother.
Hot take: Simone Biles is above Michael Phelps because, hear me out, is gymnastics not, as someone who has like swam in some capacity, like that's gotta be harder than swimming.
Swimming is not.
It's an endurance sport. It's not like a skill. Like there is technique and stuff to it, but also as an endurance sport, I feel like it comes down to so much more. Like it's not a performance sport, so it doesn't take like
as much brain capacity.
I don't know.
No, you
like
it is
in the way that I see them with all of the stuff that comes together to be that. Also, because of the fact that gymnastics has so many different types of events that are like different skills.
It is fair to say that there are some Olympic
I feel
sports
like
that are harder
that's
than
so
others.
much more impressive to be that good at gymnastics than that good at swimming.
But hot take, we can't forget about Gabby Douglas.
Gabby Douglas? What happened to Gabby Douglas?
She just got
I saw that I was following her on TikTok and I was like, girl, what happened? Where'd she go?
She's still amazing. She's still a queen. And just because Simone is doing like phenomenal
so young,
doesn't mean that Gabby is not as equally phenomenal. She is a phenomenon. We cannot forget about Gabby Douglas. Guys.
We need to talk about the bitch, what's her name? The boxer. Her opponent.
Oh my gosh, I was just explaining this to Carter.
That is crazy to be going into at the highest level of a martial, like a combat sport where you are hitting people and be like, oh no, like don't hit me. Like I went in there and she was like hitting me, she was punching me, and I couldn't do it. And it's like, you are in competitive punching. You are in competitive smacking the fuck out of people, and that's crazy. And then she posted an apology. We're being really controversial.
I don't even care.
She posted like a fake ass apology being like, and it wasn't even a real apology. She was like, oh, I'm sorry that I did it this way. But it's like, you've already caused so much drama and so much like literal danger to this person. And just because you couldn't handle it, because you couldn't handle competing at the highest level and like cried about it.
Luca Hamori.
Don't even care.
It doesn't even matter. It's like saying the name that doesn't even need to be said. I have been in so many debates in my Instagram
That's
DMs
like so
these last
pathetic.
few days. Because it's like the thing that, oh my gosh, like it actually enrages me to my core. You are on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I love Facebook. It's just my place to be.
Oh,
okay?
that's
There are
media.
so many old bitches posting on that fucking Facebook being like, this is so disgusting and so sick, and sharing the Jake or Logan, whoever, Paul post that was like, this is so sick.
Oh,
First of all, why are you listening to anything from the Paul brothers? That is crazy.
Yeah.
Second of all, I have been sliding into so many people's DMs being like, actually, if you look it up for 2 seconds, you will see that she is an intersex woman. Like, she literally is
And also,
not...
hot take, who would give a fuck if she was a trans woman? That, like, because she would probably be taking estrogen. Like, there are so many restrictions, especially at the Olympic level, on what you can levels of hormones, on, like, all of the paperwork that you had to have had done. And also, like, part of the entire point of the Olympics is that you have biological advantages. Like, if we're outlawing all biological advantages from the Olympics, take away all of Michael Phelps's medals, because he has like quadruple jointed ankles or something. He has the biggest wingspan known to man. He like
We just touched
that was
toes.
nasty.
We just touched toes.
He like biologically produces less lactic acid or what. Like he has every biological advantage you could possibly ever have for that sport, and nobody's disqualifying him.
It's crazy.
It's not about the biological advantages. It's about your social agenda of hating trans people
and it's like
fear mongering because you don't have your own platform.
And then also not even doing that, but you're not even just hurting transgender women. You're also just hurting cisgender women. Yeah. You're hurting just women.
Some women just have higher levels of testosterone. It's just a hormone.
They did the same thing to Katie Clark. Do you know who Katie Clark is? Like, this basketball player, she is like a feminine phenomenon. She is crazy.
That was crazy because I was like, oh, Katie Clark?
Wait, did I accidentally just say... No, her name is Katie Clark.
Katie Clark has the biological advantage in informative speaking.
Okay, yeah, Katie Clark. She is like crazy basketball player, and then people are like, she's a man. Caitlin Clark. Her name's Caitlin Clark.
Oh, you're crazy for that.
But they're like, she's a man.
Katie Clark.
Which is
shout
really
out to
funny.
Katie Clark. She's going to be listening to this and be like, it's going to be another one of those situations where like, oh, they're talking about me on the podcast.
We love you, Katie Clark. But Caitlin Clark is a biological woman, and they're all like, that she's a man because she's good at what she does.
Saying biological woman also sounds funny to me after the way that drag queens say it. It's like that doesn't even sound real.
How do they say it?
When drag queens will be like, "Oh, girl, you're giving biological woman."
Oh yeah, I love it. I love drag queens too.
Oh, that's crazy. You've never mentioned that before.
Oh, by the way, guys.
Well, okay. While we're talking about the Olympics, we need to talk about Celine because
Celine.
That performance was truly. Like, they need to put it on Spotify. I was going to say this is my media, but they don't have it anywhere to stream besides, like, YouTube. And her facial expressions, the fact that it was on the Eiffel Tower and, like, the song, like, oh, it was so good.
I need to go re-listen again.
We should listen right now.
Also,
we'll play it as the outro music for the podcast.
Also,
I'm not gonna do that.
If you guys haven't listened to it, just go look it up. It's not that hard.
If you who hasn't heard that?
I don't know.
Like, who hasn't listened to that?
But while we're also on the topic of the Olympics, the drag queen's Last Supper that all the Christians are going crazy about,
so much to talk about with the Olympics.
Is insane. If you guys would use your head for 3 seconds, it's not even the Last Supper.
It's the Feast of Dionysus.
Yeah.
Sis.
And they're like,
also,
this is a
if it was the Last Supper, who cares? That would not make them the first people to parody the Last Supper. The Last Supper is like one of the most parodied paintings of all time.
I'm not going to say his name, but my old pastor put up this whole post about it. It
Someone
was like,
I follow on Instagram that I don't follow anymore reposted something about that, and I was like, girl,
I've been unfollowing people like crazy this
I'm
last
sorry.
week. But literally, my old pastor of a church that I went to was like, Jesus is the hope of the world. Humanity rejects Jesus, and blah, blah, blah. Not that I'm like hating on people that are Christian, but it's just like, it's basically this whole post saying like, Jesus hates drag queens. And then drag queens are sinning. We see kindness in God, and we were lost in sin, basically. And I was just like, you are running a church with like 10,000 members, I'm not even kidding, and you are just spreading hate towards
They just want to be mad. They're
like,
just like chronically want to be mad and want to feel persecuted. There's a whole persecution complex with Christians where they're like, I need to feel like I'm being
not all
threatened
Christians, I want to say. Not all Christians, but
because they like are raised believing that they will constantly be threatened. And I'm not saying Christians are never persecuted. Like there are countries where Christians are persecuted, not in the United States. The United States, like if you look at the statistics on like just even senators in Congress and how
there's
many of them are
no
Christian,
separation of church and state anymore
but
at all.
like they just want to be persecuted because they think it makes their faith more valid or like stronger, and then they will find persecution everywhere.
What a crazy controversial episode.
Insane controversial episode.
But like, why is this stuff happening? Like, why?
Yeah, like
is
everybody
it,
just needs to calm down and we just need to like love each other.
like, take it from the lesson of Hallie, who asked, "Why are people mean?" literally. She also
Hallie is a
solved.
revolutionary.
She literally told us she wants to marry a woman because
Hallie wants to
women
marry a
don't
woman,
rob banks.
yeah, because women don't rob banks, and yeah.
And I mean,
Like, if you-
oh my gosh, wait,
ladies-
this kind of leads me into my next story.
How?
Okay,
Bella robbed a bank.
no, I didn't. Well, okay, so
Oh, I think I know who you're gonna.
No, I have to talk about
We
this.
could not be okay.
I just have to talk about this because I saw this TikTok the other day that was like, summer's coming to an end. And I was like,
No,
wow.
no,
I was
don't
like,
say that to
I was
me.
like, wow, summer really is coming to an end. And then I was like, well, okay. I've like done like nothing this summer except for like hang out with you, hang out with Izzy and Gabby, hang out with Carter, watch kids, clean houses. Like that's literally all I've done this summer. And then I was thinking about
me
last
too.
summer, and me and Zach and Alyssa were talking the other day. We had okay, let me tell you guys a little bit about my last summer experiences.
Your last supper?
Because comparing this summer that I've had to my last summer is crazy. Because last summer, we had a very best friend who faked having cancer. Okay? She literally faked having cancer. She made us all think that she was gonna die. It was one of the saddest moments of my life. And then her boyfriend at the time literally robbed a bank. The first bank that he robbed. Okay? And then I had to take the people that were living in this house that weren't a part of the faked cancer and the robbing banks and move them into my house. And then one of the boys that I moved into my house that I literally had never met before until like this whole thing went down, did shrooms in my house, smoked pot in my house, stole my clothes, shattered my mirror, would just randomly rearrange my room. It was like a whole thing. And then
That was crazy.
and then I
The guy
accidentally
who robbed the bank at one point, I think I was selling something, and I like had posted it on Snapchat, and he slid up and wanted to buy it, and I was like,
ooh,
okay,
why
with
did
what money?
with what money? And then I was also going through a breakup last summer, and I would come home at like 3 a.m. every day, and I would leave at like 8 a.m. and live my life. I like lived a summer last summer. So comparing
We really have done nothing.
that to what I've done this summer is crazy. Like bank robbers, this same person that robbed the bank should be in jail because he also robbed another bank.
I still don't understand. What?
He robbed the other bank in Butte.
I still don't understand how he's not in jail.
Well, actually, I'll tell you why he's not in jail. Because the bank teller of the bank that he robbed in Butte felt bad for him. So they let him off. And now he
Okay.
owns like this gym where literally, I'm not even kidding, he used to order steroids from the black market and get them sent
We're getting
to this
so
house
canceled.
that
This episode's
literally
gonna get taken
all
down.
of my friends were living at. And he like went to jail and then like got out of jail and then robbed a bank and then went to jail and now he's just free.
Allegedly.
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 Though. Allegedly, none of this happened.
No,
No, it happened, allegedly.
allegedly.
Anyways, I don't know how he runs free, and
I
he
still
scares
don't
me
understand
every
that.
single day of my life that he's just living in the same town as us, allegedly.
Allegedly.
That was my summer last summer. Bank robbers, drugs. I did not
Drugs.
participate in any of the drugs,
You
I have
did
to
not
add.
partake.
But it was also kind of fun. Like, me and Alyssa, like, would watch, like, The Summer I Turned Pretty, and, like, we went to Taylor Swift. Like, it was fun. But also, Alyssa's dad, like, went to jail, and, like, that, do you remember
Oh,
that whole story?
yeah.
That was, like, I really lived 17 lives last
Allegedly.
summer. That's not even alleged.
That's
Look
just
up his
true.
mugshot.
Yeah.
Like, there was another
Restraining
one.
or did
He
they
was
not give
arrested.
a restraining order, or did they?
It was a whole thing. He
Yeah.
actually got arrested a
It's
couple
apparently
weeks ago.
very hard to get a restraining order. He got arrested a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and then
He
they
was
let him
out
out again.
Enough.
He's
If you
literally
get-
on the loose.
They will be putting people in jail for no reason, and then when there's people who actually have a reason
Need
that
to
they
go to
should be in
jail?
jail, I swear to God, they're always everywhere but in jail. How are you getting out of jail? That's like the whole point of jail, is you're supposed to stay there.
Especially when the
can't
first
do
time
it.
that he was arrested was last summer. He looked like a normal man. The second time that he was arrested, his teeth were black. He had no hair. He has crazy eyes. And it's like, that is somebody who deserves to be in
I'm
jail.
gonna cry this episode.
It's crazy. Anyways, the
Oh.
summer's almost over, and the most
Don't
eventful
say that. We
thing that
have a
I've
full
done
month left.
is literally
Or I
drink
do.
coffee every day.
I have
I don't
almost
move
a
until
full
the end
month.
of September. No, the
I'm
beginning
moving
of September.
August 30th.
Where are you moving to?
Okay, this is my segue. Lucas, if you're listening, I'm sorry I meant to text you about this, but I kept forgetting to, and I wanted to, like, maybe I'll text you before this airs and you'll hear this now and be like, oh, he texted me.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure everything was gonna work out with this before I let you know that it was happening. Not that I need to let you know, but just so you know. What I ended up doing, because basically I was gonna room with my roommate from the triple I was in last year.
Lucas.
Shout out Lucas, avid
Hashtag.
listener. And then he decided to transfer. He let me know about a week before, or maybe it was more than a week, before we were going to get the housing assignments anyways. So at that point, I was just like, well, maybe I'll get lucky and get put in a single because Lucas is just transferring and they had already placed housing, or maybe I'll just get a roommate that I already know or that I like or something, or I'll get... I was just like, there's literally no reason to not just wait and see what I get. And then... it turned out that I did get, which I was pretty sure I was going to get, I got the housing on campus that is 15 minutes away from campus. So it's a 15-minute walk, which I was like, okay, I can maybe live with that. Like, that'll be annoying, especially because I, like, hate waking up in the morning, and I'll have to wake up earlier
Every
than
morning
normal
I
for
wake
classes.
up and say, damn.
Yeah. And then it was also sort of a triple situation where I was sharing a room. I was in a room with a roommate, and I had another roommate who's in, like, sort of a room in the same, like, suite, and we would be sharing a bathroom. And I try not to judge anyone. I really love to give people a second chance and judge them, but I also am very picky with my living situation.
Yeah.
And I
mean, it's where
don't
you're spending all of your time.
exactly. Especially me, because I do like to study in my room. Like, I can't focus when I'm in a library because there's people, even if it's in one of those other rooms. But the person that I was placed in a room with was a basketball player. He looked really scary.
He was like
He
in the army.
went to a private Christian military, all boys military academy. And I looked through his old tweets, and some of them were a little bit suspicious. And the link that he had in his Instagram and some of the posts he had in his... I was just like, okay, I'm not vibing with this. The building doesn't have air conditioning. I'm 15 minutes away. I started having a little panic attack, a little freak out. And then because of that, I ended up, like, I was literally like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to move to a different room because I was already on a wait list just to get a room in general. And their whole policy is, like, you can't really switch rooms for no reason. You need to be able to, like... So I was like, okay, I'm going to get an apartment. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to find an apartment in this tiny-ass town where I'm sure everybody else wants an apartment, and there's no apartments. And then I looked up just apartments near Swarthmore, and there was a literally the perfect apartment. It
It's
will
so
come out to
cute.
less money overall than paying for food and housing. Just, like, a lot less money as well.
And it's furnished.
It's fully furnished, and it has it has everything you need. The only thing it doesn't really have is in-unit laundry,
Laundry.
which is, like,
The same as a
Yeah, of
dorm.
course, a dorm doesn't have any. We have 3 washing machines for the whole dorm.
I'm ecstatic because
Yeah,
I'm gonna get an air mattress and come sleep in your living
and
room.
yeah,
Like,
so basically, it worked out fine.
and Lane's
It
gonna be
worked out fine,
safe.
and it also has air conditioning and is closer to campus than this
Which is
other housing situation.
crazy.
It's either closer or like
The
about the same
same.
distance, and we talked to the person and signed a lease and got a down payment on it. So, or not a down payment, a security deposit.
Yeah. It's
So
just good because
we're
like
set.
the
But I
last
did
thing
freak out for a little bit there.
the last thing you want coming from experience is a bad roommate. Like having a bad roommate.
I've heard that from everybody. Aaron, if you're listening right now, ooh, I can't say that in case they hear this. Cut that. Cut
Cut
that.
that.
I
Cut
don't.
that.
They're not going to hear this, but Aaron knows. Aaron
I know.
knows. You know. Like so many people I've spoken to have been like, I had a bad roommate and it was the worst thing ever.
It like makes you not want to do school, makes you not want to go to class, and makes you so unmotivated. It's just like the worst thing to ever happen.
And these are the people that I know that are way more social than me. Like
Yeah,
you are way
I'm
more social
so
than
much
me.
more social than
Aaron
Lane.
is so much more social than me, and Lucas knows that like when Lucas and I like never talk in our room because we both just like chill there.
Chill.
That's like the space for like chilling.
Period.
So basically I will survive because I have my own space, and the fact that it's cheaper to me was insane and like flipped a switch in my brain that I was like, oh, they really are charging like $1 billion for
I
housing and
realized
food.
that too.
And
Yeah.
also, Swarthmore is closing down SE Maze, which is like the little food. They have like a couple of places you can get food on campus. That's the one that I went to the most all the time, and
Really?
the only place where I ever used my meal swipes. So I was like, what
It's
would even be the
pointless.
point in
Yeah.
paying for a student meal plan?
That's silly.
So we're blessed.
Blessed Lane will be
We're
safe
surviving.
and have his own space in his own little apartment.
It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice.
so
I feel like I'm gonna
exciting.
be 10 billion times more productive as well because I
And
have
just
my own
happier
space.
too, maybe.
Yeah, I'll thrive
Yeah.
and live, which I might need because I have a real class schedule this semester.
Speaking of old tweets, we were talking about if we were going to talk about this or not. I think that we have to because
We don't have very much time left.
we don't have
though.
very much time. We'll keep
You
it
have
short.
just talked about her, both of these.
I have talked about her a lot recently, and Brooke Schofield has somebody dragged up her old tweets, and usually I'm like, ugh, you drag up everybody's old tweets and everybody's
Usually
controversial.
they're not that.
That
Usually,
bad.
sometimes it's an N word, which is really, really bad. But then it's like, usually they'll like snake their way out of it by being like, oh, like I was 12, or like this was like, or it's like something else.
Mm-hmm.
But these were when she was like 17 or 18, right?
It was in 2012, and I mean, I get like, not that I'm not defending her at all. I get that like times were different and like terms of like
Yeah.
social, but
then
like
you
there's
think about it
no
and they're like,
excuse.
when I was that age, no.
No. I mean, when I was like 7, maybe I probably said controversial things because of the crowd I grew up in. But once I gathered brain
But
cells in my
7
head,
and 17 are
very different. But also, I was thinking about it, and I saw this video of Tana talked about Mission Watermelon. I don't know if I should say that. Can I say Palestine? Can I say Palestine?
You can
Okay.
say Palestine on this podcast.
Well, Tana was like talking about Palestine, was like, it feels so dystopian for us to sit here and talk and then not address this issue. And it was actually really cool that they talked about it. I was like, okay, bless, give it a platform. If you watch the footage, it is literally just Tana talking and Brooke going. She usually
Brooke.
always is like nodding her head and agreeing and like whatever. She did not move. She stood silent. She just had
She said, I stand with Israel.
She just had Kid Rock, is that his name?
I don't know. I don't
No,
know who that is.
no, I know this. The one that just came out talking about supporting Trump. Kid.
I don't know. I
Kid-
have no idea who did that.
I don't remember, but it was a very controversial person that she had in her bio until one day ago. Like, whatever. And so, like, she's very problematic, and if you don't know what I'm talking about,
It is nice when you see people in a fan base actually
Care.
holding people accountable and like being willing to just drop them, because there's nothing worse than when something like that comes out and then the people will just defend them, because then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you have cultivated a fan base of people who are gross and weird like you. Mm-hmm. And but when I went into her comment section, they were tearing
Hey,
her
so
apart,
this is
especially in
insane.
her stupid ass apology video that was not
Crazy.
even a real apology.
Crazy. It was like 3 a.m. and she was just like crying
And if
in
you
her
don't know
bed.
what we're talking about,
Go
go
look it
read
up.
the tweets.
They're
because they are
crazy.
nasty, like disgusting.
They're not just saying the N-word, which even then is bad, but they're not. They're like
It's worse than
10,000
that,
times
yeah.
worse than that.
And there's a bunch of them. Like, I don't know how they
Yeah.
didn't get uncovered earlier.
Especially with the platform that she's had for a while. She's
Yeah.
had a platform for a while. Anyways, that being said, let's talk about our media.
Well, my media was Celine.
Oh,
But that made more sense to talk about with the Olympics. And the other thing is, last night was a movie. Last night I was bored because I just finished the show that I was watching on Dropout, and I was like,
which was what?
A Court of Fey and Flowers on Dimension 20, which is crazy. But then I was like, well, I guess I'll watch a movie because I've had a list of video games that I wanted to play, like story, like games.
You rarely
And
watch movies.
I know, and I never watch, and I have a long ass list of movies that I want to watch, but I never watch movies because I feel like I have to sit down and give them my full attention. So there's 2 movies that are on my list that I wanted to watch. Poor Things, which I still will watch, and I do want to watch it, and I was very intrigued. And I started watching it, and I was like, this is not the vibe that I'm looking for right now. My brain is cooked from
I've never
like
even
using
heard
it
of
all
that.
day. It's with Emily Stone
I haven't heard of it.
and Willem Dafoe and Mark Ruffalo. It won awards, I think. It was a while ago though. It's good so far. It's like freak shit. It's like a freak shit movie for freaks.
You watch movies like episodes.
No, but I didn't finish it because I was scared.
Oh,
And then I was like, okay, I'll watch a different movie on my list with a different vibe that's like more chill. So I watched The Social Network.
the one that's like the
One
documentary.
it's not really a documentary. It's about Facebook and its creation.
I love Facebook.
And it made me realize several things. One, Mark Zuckerberg really is a freak. Like, he really is a nasty freak. And which he must have had nothing to do with the making of this movie because it makes him look terrible, which is
Yeah.
like true. Like, Facebook was originally created, or like sort of the original software idea of it was a platform where you would just compare 2 girls and say which one was more attractive.
What?
Yeah.
What?
From like a list of like college.
Like a dating app?
No, not like a dating app. Like, it was in, like, none of them consented to be part of this. True story.
I would
Well,
cry,
I don't
I
know
would
if all of
cry,
it's true,
I
but
would
it's like, it was like
cry.
nasty shit. And
Nasty shit.
yeah, nasty shit.
Yeah.
But the movie was good. Like, I liked it a lot, and it has that kind of dialogue where it's like, it's not written like actual people speaking. It's written like 2 people that are saying monologues at each other, and they talk really fast, and like it sort of overlaps, and it's like very witty back and forth, where it doesn't sound realistic, but it sounds like it should sound realistic.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Nope.
Okay, maybe I'm trying to think of if there's a movie that I don't know.
Maybe I should just
it's pretty
watch
well
it.
written, and it was a good movie. But yeah, that's my media. That's the only movie I've ever watched. And my other media
Ever.
is 1/4 of Poor Things.
Period. My media is the Despicable Me 4 movie. Terrible.
Who will grow? I've heard it's bad.
It made me really upset because I'm sorry, I talk about Carter all the time. Me and Carter literally rewatched all the Despicable Me, all of the Minions, and we were like,
To be ready for
to be
it?
ready for it. Well, actually, we were in the middle of watching it when we found out they were coming out with a new one. But so then we had like literally anticipated it for weeks because like we're like a medium distance, and so
Me,
we
the
don't get
first
to
one
like
was like
just.
a cultural reset.
But it's so good, and like all the Minions are so good, all the Despicable Me's are so good. And so, like, we had the highest hopes going into it. We waited for weeks, like, literally until the stars aligned. And then we went to it. And it was like, the plot was so predictable. The villain
I've heard the villain was stupid.
so easy to even take down. He was so stupid. He, like, had, like, cockroaches was, like, his special power. It was his wife, her voice. Actually,
Grandma's shower in Hawaii.
oh, I forgot about that.
When there was cockroaches in the
Cockroaches?
shower.
The wife was of the villain was voiced by Sofia Vergara. How do you say it? Sofia Vergara.
I know
Do you
who
know what
you're
I'm talking
talking about,
about?
but I don't at all at the
She
same time.
probably she was like the only thing that kept the movie going. Like that was probably it. It was a very boring movie. And then the little girl that literally is so annoying, Poppy. Her character development doesn't make any sense. Like she goes from being this little rotten bitch to like blackmailing Gru to then just being like the
I hate it
sweetest
when that
little like
happens.
save the world. And it was like her development made no sense. Shut up, why are you talking? And she was voiced by Joey King, which made it even worse. It was just a terrible movie. I don't recommend it. But my good piece of media, this isn't new. It's not anything whatever. I can't stop listening to it, and you're not even going to relate because you don't even know this, because you don't even watch Drag Race. It's this song.
RuPaul.
It's a song called The Mirror Song, and it's from season 13.
13? It's from season 13?
It's either 13 or 14. I think it's 13. But one of the queens that was in that season was canceled while the season was being aired. So at the beginning of every single episode, it's like a big like disclaimer, like, this queen will not be in the finale, like, she has been canceled. But she's still in the whole series, like the whole season.
That would be such an unfortunate thing to be like, oh, we shot a full season of this expensive show to shoot, and then we're like, oh.
And like they like tried their best to edit her out, but like sometimes they couldn't. And like in this song, she's
They
there.
should have just made her look terrible.
Which made me, they kind of did. Well, they also just didn't edit her in at all. Like, you forget that she's there. But she's in this song, which is my favorite song in Drag Race. I sent it to you.
You sent it?
I sent it to you the other day.
Yeah.
And it's like the most beautiful song, and it makes me cry every single time I listen to it. And the other day I drove to Zach's, which is like a 30-minute drive, and I listened to it literally on repeat the entire way. I did not listen to a single other song. So.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Anyways, that's my media for today. Go listen to it. But that's all. This was a really controversial episode.
This was a super controversial episode.
But I don't care.
If you disagree with us, don't say anything about it and stop watching. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all.
Hopefully we'll see you all next week. We'll keep doing that. Let us know if we should keep doing this after the summer ends. And maybe we will.
Because we have like a month. So.
See y'all next year.
Or not.